with the Wood Green family, and we hope that you had a wonderful couple of nights off. Everyone is looking lighter and brighter. It looks like you took some counsel from Sunday evening's presentation, and we hope that you're all feeling healthy. How many of you feeling healthy? Will you wave your hand? Wonderful. I want to say that I've been eating very healthy. I've been trying to exercise too, and all of that. I'll give you some more tips on that later on as we proceed throughout the next 2 weeks. But I hope that you're feeling the desire to live longer and be stronger. And on Sunday evening, we talked about what? What was our subject? Do you remember what the subject was? How to outlive your life. And does anyone know how to outlive their lives? There are a few secrets that we discovered together, how to outlive our lives. And yes, we talked about rest. What else did we talk about?
Having a new start.
Having a new start, yes. Yes, 10,000 steps. Some of you started. Did you get, did anyone invest in a pedometer? Exercise, yes. I was talking to their pastor there, and he tells me he's been in the gym. He goes to the gym several days a week. Isn't he looking good? He's shining. Yes, he's leading by example. He's bouncing in a step, yes. Healthy eating, very much so. Very much so.
10 years young.
10 years younger, yes. And studies have shown it. Research has shown it. And yes, we can outlive our lives. How can we outlive? We can live longer, stronger, healthier, better. We don't have to necessarily succumb to a lot of the illnesses and diseases. Sure, someone has said, if you live long enough on this earth, something will hit you, something will get you. Sure, it might. It might. But we can try our best to avoid. We can try our best to adopt healthier principles and practices so that it will benefit us, mind, body, and soul. And so, you know, I need to also let you know that it is also the divine manufacturer's desire for us, the Creator's purpose and intention for each one of us to be healthy, mind, body, and soul. 3 John verse 2 says this, Beloved, I wish above all things, you know this text, that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your what? Your soul prospered. So God's design and desire for each one of us is to be healthy, mind, body, and soul. And so I'm hoping and I'm praying that's your heart's desire. So this evening, we would like to speak to you from the subject entitled, The Healthiest Country to Live in. The healthiest country to live in. I'm sure everyone is wondering what that country is. Well, let us keep wondering and let's discover it together. Let's go on in our journey. So, if you had a choice, which country to live in, where would it be? What? Some people. Yeah, if you had a choice to choose a country to live in, which one would it be? Oh, really? That's wonderful. How about the Caribbean Islands? Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Bahamas, Barbados, Mauritius, come on, Cayman, Grenada, you name it. All right. There's some beautiful islands. And you know some of them are like paradise. I mean, some of you've seen some places, you've been to some places that are beautiful. You wish you could live there, but you know, after the week or 2 weeks, or the all-inclusive is up, you have to come back to face work and your family and your friends and your church and your community. How about other places such as Hawaii? How many of you been there? Or Australia? Or Greece? Iceland? Canada? Or the US? How many of you been to some of those places? Been to some of those places? Wonderful. You're well traveled. Congratulations. It's a beautiful world we live in, right? Don't we live in a beautiful world? There's a beautiful world we live in, but there's some not so beautiful things in this world. But we still live in a beautiful world, and we have the privilege to make it beautiful. We can choose to make it beautiful if we so desire as well. Well, I put other here, just in case we didn't mention the place that you would like to live in. So not to miss or exclude anyone. So if you had a dream life, what would it be and where? If you had a dream life, what would it be and where? Think about that. Do you know where is the healthiest country to live in? Right now. Do you know where the healthiest country to live in is? Does anyone have an idea, a clue? Can anyone hazard a guess? North Korea. Ooh, I think I would be very threatened to live there. Oh, South, that's much better. Okay, yeah.
New Zealand.
Now I'm saying, now you're talking business, yes?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay, well, let's see what the specs and the stats say. Let's check out the statistics and see what it's saying. Let's see here. Let's keep clicking here. Let's keep clicking. Is it clicking toward there? Okay. The drop it, hit it. All right, let's keep going with this manually. So let's see here. I want to share with you. Here it is. Now I'm sorry, it's kind of fine. I tried to blow this up, but it's very difficult. Very, very difficult to do so. But it says here, now we talked about BMI. BMI is body mass index, and you want to strive for 25. That's the ideal or less. So let's see the countries there. Look at this. Jamaica has one of the best BMIs, but there's a paradox because it also stretches to the other end. Let's keep going now. We have the Dominican Republic right here. Not bad. And then coming down the line here, we have Germany. Then we have here, of course, Mongolia. Let's see what's this country here. Nicaragua. And then we have here Bolivia. Remember I told you, one of the biggest exporters of one of the finest grains in the world that is whole grain and very healthy. It's called a miracle food. You know what it's called, right? Quinoa. Quinoa comes from the major exporter from Bolivia. Then we have some other countries here. We have Bolivia. Then let's see what we have here. United Arab Emirates. Of course, we have not so much New Zealand. We have Egypt. Interesting. And then we have Trinidad and Tobago. But we also have the other end here. And then some of the worst countries, or in terms of those that have the highest incidence of BMI, Jamaica here coming up to Egypt. And look at Kuwait. You wonder why they're so overweight in Kuwait? Kuwait with so much weight. You want to know why? Because they live in opulence, affluence. They have everything, right? So they're eating the rich, westernized, American type of diet, and so they have everything at their fingertips and at their disposal. So you can imagine why fast foods and everything like that. So, they have the money, right? They can afford it and enjoy the lifestyle, the opulent lifestyle. So it's quite interesting. Let's keep going. If this doesn't want to work for us, is it working now? Okay, that's good. Keep going. I have to stay closer to the computer. So here is, oh boy, can you see that? Is that okay? So here it is. Here is a short demographic on where the lowest life expectancy is in the world, and the highest. So the lowest is marked by blue, or purple rather, and then the highest healthy life expectancy is marked by green. So let's see. Let's go with the lowest. So this country in Africa, Burkina Faso, wow, has one of the lowest. Second, Chad. Where's number 3? The Democratic Republic of Congo. And number 4, Malawi. Where's number 5? Zimbabwe. Number 6, Mozambique. Number 7, number 8. What is it? Can you see it? Can you help me read it? How about 9? All right. And how about number 10? Have mercy. Wow. So these countries have the lowest healthy life expectancy. Let's flip the script now and go to the highest. Number 1. Where's number 1? Japan. Number 2. Singapore. Number 3. Switzerland. Number 4. Number 5. How about number 6? Interesting. Number 7. Canada, that's where I'm from. Number 8, Andorra. Number 9, Israel. And number 10. Interesting. Let's keep discovering some of the healthy countries in this world. Now, you need to be with me on this exercise. Can you help me out? Can anyone tell me which country this is? Okay, so we're going to go in order now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going in order, and this is the order from the countdown, the top 10, from 10 to 9, all right? So starting from the 10th country. So everyone knows it's France because of the Eiffel Tower, right? So let's see what it says there. Of course, life expectancy is claimed to be at 81. They claim it to be at 81.56. Why is it healthy? France diet. has long been touted as a model for health, although it's indulgent. The French are notorious for small portions and well-balanced meals. In addition, they drink a moderate amount of red wine. Interesting. Now, I'm not encouraging this evening anyone to drink red wine, but I'm going to break that down in a moment, which is heart healthy. Now, you know why red wine is healthy? Let me tell you what's heart healthy about red wine. It is not the alcoholic content of red wine. It is, of course, the grape juice content of the red wine. That's where it contains the antioxidants and other phytochemicals. That's where they're gaining the benefit from, not from the alcohol part. So if you drink pure, unfermented grape juice, which is fresh wine from the vine, you will get the same purported benefits, just like or even better than red wine, right? Right? And minus the potential to become intoxicated. So let's keep going. Number 10. Which country is this one here? Can anyone help me out? How about this one?
Italy. Italy.
No, this is Italy. This is the Colossus at Rome, right? Colosseum at Rome. Life expectancy 81.95. Why is it healthy? They claim that the Italians eat a Mediterranean diet that's rich in olive oil. How many of you use olive oil? Cold pressed olive oil is very good for your heart. Very good. Omega-3s in fish. The Italians are active like most European countries and also drink moderate amounts of red wine, which research has shown is good for the heart. 1 glass a day. That's what they say. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep building our case now. Let's go to the next country. Can anyone help me out with this one? Someone's on the beach. Oh, you knew that one, right? You ever see a kangaroo on the beach? Yeah, life expectancy in Australia, yeah? 81.98. Why is it healthy? Because Australia is in the middle of the ocean. Oh, middle of the ocean. Importing foods can get expensive. This is why Australians use a lot of natural foods found within their country. In addition, Australians put a lot of emphasis on sports as part of their culture. What is their popular sport? You know, knocking people down. Yeah, okay, no, yeah, cricket and rugby. Most Australians surf, swim, play rugby, hike, or bike. Okay. So that's an active lifestyle, right? So we're talking about the life you've always wanted. Let's keep building our case now. What's this next country? Can somebody help me out, please? How about this one? I think so. I think so, Pastor. I think so. That's it. Life expectancy, 82.28. Yeah? Why is it healthy? The Swiss are in such great shape because they climb mountains just to get in their front door. Not only do they enjoy winter sports in the winter, but the mountains serve equally as a playground for the Swiss in the summer, for hiking and mountaineering, unlike American ski areas that turn into ghost towns when the spring snow retreats. The Swiss take full advantage of their mountains every month of the year. Swiss, okay, we're going down. I think that's the 6th spot. We're going down to the 5th spot now. Can somebody help me out with this country? Anyone hazard a guess? Can anyone venture what this is? All right, to break the suspense. Life expectancy, yeah, is 82.58. Can you imagine why it's healthy? Nestled in the mountain in between France and Spain, Andorra has the best of both countries, from the Mediterranean diet to the physical activities associated with being the mountains, skiing in the winter and hiking in the summer. Again, this is promoting physical activity. Physical activity. All right, let's go to our next country, down to number 3. Can somebody help me out on this one? Greece, how many of you been there? Yeah, you've been there? Wow, that's wonderful. Life expectancy, yeah, is 82.98. Why is it healthy? The Greek live on a balanced Mediterranean diet of olive oil and fish. In addition, they are active on the water and on the varied terrain of the country. Remember that the Olympics started in Greece, so being active is part of the ancient culture. Beautiful place. And they have a very healthy diet. Can someone help me out with this other country? Second to last. Have you been there? Not quite. Let's see. Spain. Why is it healthy? The Spanish food staple is small portions of variety of foods called tapas, which means that portion control is a way of life. In addition to this, they partake in a daily ritual of siesta. You know, anyone like that?
Yes.
Siesta is a 2-hour nap midday, which not only lowers stress levels, but also ensure that they are getting enough rest. I think, you might know someone like that. Let's go. Can someone help me out here? Can someone help me out with this country?
Japan.
Yeah? Okay, let's see if you, how many have been there? Singapore, how many have been there? You've been there? Beautiful country. And their life expectancy has increased to 84.07. Why is it healthy? Singapore has a fine system of keeping the environment healthy and clean. By imposing rules and regulations, the hygiene of Singaporeans is the best in the world. Secondly, most Singaporeans know that good health means wealth. They comply to rules, keep the place as clean as possible. The government is known to promoting clean and healthy environment by education, volunteering, and rules. And if you were caught littering in Singapore, you will be fined on the spot. Interesting. That would do well here in the UK, wouldn't it? And let's go to our number one country, I believe. Where is this one? Oh, no, this is the second country. Second one. How do you know? Oh, you're counting. Second one. This one is Asian country. I think it's Japan, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. Life expectancy, yeah, is 84.19. It's going up. Why is it healthy? Put simply, the Japanese eat very well. They eat fish versus red meat, eat less dairy, butter, and milk, eat seaweed that is high in iodine, and drink a lot of green tea, eat plenty of vegetables, and consume small portions. That's Japan. How many of you been to Japan before? When you raise your hand. You've been to Japan? How many of you would like to go to Japan? Japan is a nice place. Okay, number one country in the world to live. Are you ready for it? Here it is. You might not believe it. I never believed it at first. Here it is. Can anyone hazard a guess here? It's actually in the continent of Africa. I believe so. Oh no, Monaco, sorry. Close. Why is it healthy? Look at it. Life expectancy 89.63. And this is on average, okay? This is on average. The average person who lives to that age. Why is it healthy? Because most of the population of Monaco, sorry, that's in Southern Europe, I apologize, right?
Yes.
France, yes. Is very wealthy. They typically have their own chef to plan healthy meals for them. On top of this, because most are retired, they have reduced levels of stress. There's some people say they're retired, they're still stressed out. Anyways, we know that anxiety is the cause of hypertension and contributes to all sorts of disease, from gastritis of the stomach due to too much acid production and to cardiovascular disease from the hypertension. From the World Health Organization, the top 3 diseases right now that's plaguing our world, of course, is cardiovascular disease, hypertension, cancer, and the third one is mental health illnesses. Mental health illnesses, the top 3 killers in our world today, according to the World Health Organization. I hope none of us will get that, based on the fact that if we can try our best to adopt and to adapt to more healthier lifestyle, we can avoid a lot of these common illnesses. Let's keep striving for health. Remember, we talked about it. Health is not everything, but without it, everything is nothing, right? So we need to fight for our health. We need to strive to be healthy. Now, how many of you heard of the blue zones? How many of you heard about the blue zones? I'm talking about this evening, the healthiest country in the world to live in. How many of you heard about the blue zones in the world? The blue zones are 5 geographical locations that scientists have identified and designated as the healthiest spots, geographical spots to live on this earth. There we go. So, for your viewing pleasure, here it is, the blue zones. And I see a natural fly flying over the blue zones. Did you see it there? The blue zones, longevity hotspots, that's what they're called. So, we have one here. We'll start from my right, from my left, your right. I'm turning around to my right. So Okinawa, Japan. Have you been to Okinawa? Okinawa, Japan. Now, why are these spots so important? These areas are where people live on average to over 100 years old, centenarians. And I'm going to share with you why they live that long. So Okinawa, Japan. Then the second place is Icaria, Greece. Third is Sardinia, Italy. The fourth is Nicoya, Costa Rica. This is the largest of the blue zones, and they have the most centenarians living there. And lastly, a place where I lived for 3 years and studied, did my doctoral studies at Loma Linda in California. So, Let's go on. Let's break that down a little bit together. So Sardinia, Italy. What's so important about Sardinia? Here it is. It says that it's home to the highest number of male centenarians in the world. 91 of the 17,865 people born between 1880 and 1900 have lived to age 100. Can you believe that? That rate is twice Italy's average. Community lifestyle revolves around taxing physical work, family whole grain bread, pecorino cheese, and red wine are diet mainstays. And the cheese is rich in omega-3s, local red wine, and etc., etc. Okay, I don't want to bore you with details. I just want to give you highlights. So the second place, Icaria, Greece. How many of you been to Greece, you said? You've been to Greece? Okay, and as you know, the Mediterranean diet, right? So it's rich, of course, in omega-3s, low in dairy and saturated fats. And of course, they have great weather, and they drink special herbal. They've shown to have lower blood pressure, decreased risk of heart disease and dementia. Very interesting. Very interesting. We're learning secrets from parts of the world. So that's why I wanted to share with you, and then we're going to kind of carry on and move on. The third country here is, of course, we talk about Okinawa, Japan. Why is this? Why Japan? Well, Okinawans are one of the longest living people in the world. Compared to Americans, Okinawans have 1/5 the rate of heart disease, 1/4 of the rate of breast and prostate cancers, 1/3 less dementia, lean diets, tofu, miso soup, and small amounts of fish and meat. Locally grown herbs, spices, fruits, vegetables contain anti-cancer compounds. Inhabitants engage in the cultural practice of harahachi-bu. I don't know, this I'll tell you what it is here. Until only 80%, not until you're stuffed and you can't get up from the chair. You see it, you know? And you have to say, hold on, or someone give me a hand, please, and to lift you up. Mutual support. Networks called modes are maintained through one's life. Social support is very important. Natural social, we talked about that. Strong sense of purpose known as ikigai, which makes one's life worth living. That's what it means. So a sense of purpose and direction. And we all need that sense of purpose and direction. That's where we're going to be going as we come to the meat of the matter very shortly. Here it is. Last two, and we will continue to move on. The healthiest places. These are the 5 blue zones of the world. The fourth one, Nicoya, Costa Rica, largest blue zone on earth, home to hundreds of centenarians. Local water is exceptionally hot. Hard water is full of minerals such as calcium and magnesium, promotes stronger bones, benefits overall body function. Mesoamerican diet, or meso rather, American diet of beans, squash, and special corn tortilla. Strong family unity and support, agriculture, daily chores such as cleaning underbrush, tending to crops by hand, preparing tortillas from scratch. And so again, physical activity. And then finally here, it's called Loma Linda. How many of you been to Loma Linda? Loma Linda, California? Loma Linda, beautiful place. And of course, there, that the concentrated population is known as Seventh-day Adventists. I think some of you know them. And the close-knit community of culture which preaches and promotes and practices the message of health, diets of grain, fruits, nuts, and vegetables, and a plant-based diet. By the way, this study was conducted by a gentleman named Dan Buettner, who wrote a book called The 5 Blue Zones, okay? And he was also featured in the National Geographic, and this was also featured in the National Geographic magazine, if you've not known that already. I think some of you already know that. It came out there. Adventists observe Saturday as a day of rest. They forbid smoking, alcohol, eating pork, and they promote regular exercise. Socializing with family, friends, relieve stress, strong sense of community, health-oriented lifestyle, those risk of average California. So there you have the 5 blue zones in the world, the 5 blue zones. We can learn a thing or two from these lifestyles, can't we not? Yes. So we can, wherever we are, we can try and choose to make it a healthy place. Make your home a healthy place. Make your life, your personal life and lifestyle a healthy practice. Make your family a healthy family. Make your church a healthy church. Make your community a healthy community. Wherever you are, we all have to make choices. Choices are important. Day in and day out, we are bombarded by how to choose. Should we travel down this road? Should 406 or the M25? You got choices every day. Should you take the tube, the underground, the over? What is the choice? What's the right path? What's the right road? We all have to make choices, but the question is, how do we make those choices? The best choices we can make are the ones that are informed. Informed choices, knowing the right information. Having the right information will inform us and influence the right choice, and making the right choice will benefit our life, our lifestyle, and our health, mind, body, and soul in the long run. Very important. So let's keep going. I want to share with you a few points. So what is the healthiest country to live in is the question. I want to share with you two quick quotes there. It says, you can't have everything. Where would you put it? You can't have everything. Where would you put it? Is the question. Where would you put it? Some people strive for everything. They try to amass all that they can. They try to can all they get and get all they can. And so they kill themselves. They stress themselves out. And they don't realize that there's more to life than just the amassing and the accumulation of material possessions, of things in this world. In fact, some people do it at the expense of their health, the expense of their family, the expense of those things which matter most in their lives. Why do it? Check this out. Here's another quote for you. Undoubtedly, we have improved means, but unfortunately, we have not improved ends. We have better ways of getting there, but no better places to go. We can save more time, but we are not making any better use of the time that we save. Think about that for a moment. Some sobering thoughts. I want to share with you a passage that's coming to mind in a moment. Before we do that, there is more to life than we can imagine. This life is not all that there is. It's not all that it's chalked up to be. I want to talk to you about the healthiest country to live in this evening. You know, life on earth, somebody says, is just a dress rehearsal for a greater life that's about to come. And most, as you can see, someone can live to 100 years. But what happens after that? We can do all that we can, live to be healthy, but what happens after that? What is the healthiest country to actually live in? There is a plan and purpose for each of our lives, and it is ours to discover. We're on this journey to discover what our plan and our purpose is. The question is, why are you here? Is the question. Until you discover that, you'll continue to search for the rest of your life until you find the answer to that question. Why are you here? Why were you created? Is the question. That's the question. And people go through all their life fighting, doing all that they can, struggling, and they cannot find the meaning to their lives. You know, it was the brilliant Oxford professor, C.S. Lewis. I want to quote him. He says this: there are two kinds of people, those who say to God, thy will be done, and those to him whom God says, all right then, have it your way. Tragically, many people will have to endure their own lives without God because they choose to live without him here. When opportunity to try him. You know, there's a sign that I was reading, try God, and if you don't like him, the devil will take you back. It's interesting. I want to talk to you about the healthiest country to live in. The healthiest country to live in. Hebrews chapter 11. I want to turn your attention to ancient words this evening. We're singing about ancient words. I want to summon your attention this evening. I want to summon your attention to the healthiest country to live in. Ancient words found in Hebrews chapter 11. And it starts from verse 9. And the word of God says, prompted by faith, he dwelt as a temporary resident in the land which was designated in the promise of God, though he was like a stranger in a strange country, living in tents with Isaac and Jacob, fellow heirs with him of the same promise. Now, there are some key words I want us to identify. You've got to remember that this life, all that we do in this life. Today, I visited a sister from this church who lost a husband. Some of you know him, Brother Ricketts. Wonderful man of God. I remember him. He was a deacon serving in this church. You know, and we can do all that we can. We have the best medical interventions and inventions, and we try to preserve life as long as possible, but there's one cure that no doctor and researcher and philosopher has ever discovered, and that is the cure for death. What is the cure for death? Death is inevitable. We can do all that we can. We can adopt some health principles from the 5 blue zones. We're talking about a life you've always wanted, but there is no cure for death. And sometimes when tragedy strikes, when a loss takes place in our lives, in our families, in our homes, those around it, that's when we begin to think about reality. That's when reality hits home. There is no cure for death. Science cannot explain it. Philosophers cannot explain it. We've got to remember that there is more to life than this life here. You were created for something more, greater, beyond your imagination. I want to posit to you today that we are all temporary residents in this place. God has blessed each one of us. You think about it. Look where we've come from. Have we forgotten where we've come from? When we had least and little and nothing, and God has blessed us with more than one. We live in houses. We don't rent them, we own them. Some of us still rent them, but that's all right. At least we live in a beautiful home, shelter over a roof over our head, warmth. We have food in our cupboards and in our refrigerators. We have a full wardrobe. We are more than blessed. Amen. And sometimes we forget to count our blessings. And then life passes us by, and we forget to appreciate and value those things that are important to us. People, our family, our loved ones. And God wants us to take a moment right now. Remember Him. Count your blessings. Remember that we are temporary residents down here. We can carry nothing with us. I've never seen anyone in a coffin carry their house, their bank account, and all their possessions. They may look very nice in the casket, yes. All decked up and dressed up. But a few months later, decay and decomposition sets in, and they can carry nothing. I'm reminded by a verse in 2 Timothy chapter, I believe it's chapter 6 verse 7, for it says this, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain that we can carry nothing out. Some of us are living as if we, with an iron grip and grasp on the things that we have, thinking that we can drag it with us right down to the grave. Don't let it take you there. Don't let it kill you. Don't let it stress you out. You can have the peace of God, which passes all understanding. Yes, you've got to remember something, that it is the Lord that giveth, and the Lord that taketh away. You have what you have because God is merciful and He's gracious and He's long-suffering and He has blessed you. So don't forget the one who has blessed you. Don't forget the Creator and only bask in the creature comforts. You've got to remember, where if you forget where it has come from, sometimes God has to remind us where you got it from. So sometimes God may have to take it away from us. Sometimes God may have to permit certain things to take place and to occur in our lives to get our attention, because sometimes we forget God. We leave Him on the tube. We leave Him in the underground, and God wants to be our traveling companion and to journey with us. Temporary. This world is not our home. We're only passing through. So what do you well for this life, or to prepare for the world and a life everlasting that awaits each one of us? Think about it for a moment. When He was living, I'm talking about the healthiest country to live in. Are you following with me? When He was waiting expectantly and confidently, looking forward to the city which has fixed and a firm foundation, whose architect and builder is God. You've got to look for a country. You've got to look for a city that has a fixed and firm foundations. All I know is anytime an earthquake can strike. I don't know if you've ever been in an earthquake before. How many have been in an earthquake before? I was in California a few years ago. And yes, I was there. I think California in America is perhaps one of the most beautiful in all of America. It's a beautiful city. If you've ever been there, if you've driven from the south right up to the north, the beautiful mountain ranges, cascading mountains. In one day, you can be in the beach, you can be in the desert, you can be skiing, all in California. But I was in California, and you know what? A lot of the rich, it's the seventh largest economy in the world, and some of the most richest people live in California. Of course, as you know, these celebrities, they call themselves stars, but not the real stars. The real stars are up there shining, that God put them there shining. But anyways, let me talk to you about something else. So, it's a very rich, very decadent society and country and state. And I was there, and they would often warn, of course, there's a fault line. And by the way, there's fault lines all over the world. And if you think you're standing on steady and a sure foundation all by yourself, you better think again. So I was there, and all of a sudden, I was sitting down, and I felt something shaking like this. It's the first few seconds. All of a sudden, it didn't stop. And for about 1 minute, it was moving, and then I realized that it was an earthquake, so they told you to quickly drop to the ground, roll underneath, start rolling underneath. So they say you crush anyway under your bed or whatever there. And the earthquake forth, and then after a couple of minutes, it's then on the news. I got both hands. She was calling this check-in to see if everything was. Basically, I was experiencing the tremors of the earthquake. The epicenter was small, but I felt the tremor 4 hours epicenter. I'm saying to you, my friends, this evening, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, friends, you've got to have a firm footing and foundation. It cannot be based on the things that you purchase, transient, and the things that are temporary. You need something that is stable and steady and sure, something that is anchored. You need to have a firm foundation. I remember I was going out, and I had a friend who was a sailor, and he invited me to come on his boat one day, and so he had prepared. And then we embarked on the boat. A sudden storm was passing through, and so we were out. And I said, are we ready? Are we still going to go? He says, no, hold on. We were out a bit already. And I said, well, how are we going to get back? So he threw out what we call a kedge or an anchor, and he threw it out there. I said, well, what is that going to do? Of course, we're way out. He says, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for many years. He threw it out there. And so it was kind of fun. I'm saying it didn't catch at first, but it was a concept called kedging. These sailors know that as they throw out the anchor, it kedges, and as it kedges, the anchor goes down, but it goes down deeper and deeper and deeper until it hits, and then it holds, and it grips the boat so it does not get tossed by the wind and the tempestuous waves that come to beat upon it. And so you've got to be talking to somebody here, and can I serve somebody? Notice here today in Wood Green that you need to have an anchor this evening in your life. Something is not temporary. Something that will not vanish and disappear or evaporate. Something that I want to suggest. We have marble and granite countertops. It's okay. It's beautiful. Praise God. He blessed you. That's a nice thing to experience, a nice thing to have. But what this text is suggesting that we need an architect that is eternal. Because you see, after a while, the granite fades and it might even crack. If I drop something, and it will. If a football comes through it, it will break. But when you have God as your architect and builder, He builds it to last. You remember there was a slogan, and I see that there are many Fords here in the UK. There are Fords, FRD, right? You know the slogan how it used to be, right? Found on the road dead or fix or repair daily, right? For Fords. But they've improved. Their slogan is called Built to Last. Have you heard it before? Built to Last. That's their slogan, Built to Last. And I wondered, wow, they've been building cars and it hasn't been lasting for a long time at all. But their slogan is Built to Last. And you know what? You have to give them credit because they never gave up in mastering the Fords. They kept on improving and tweaking and adjusting and being innovative and creative, and they've done a little bit better, right? They have done a little bit better, built to last. But I want to assure you here today that there is a divine creator manufacturer. He has built you to last. That's your theme, the life that you've always wanted. He's built you to last, not just here, not to just fizz out, not to just tap out of this life, not to just vanish and evaporate. He's built you to last. And though we might have a little bit of pain and suffering and sickness, I want to let you know that you can be healed, that you can live healthier, and you can have the assurance not only of come. We're built. Okay. Where's this? There's power. Thank you very much. So, have you allowed Him to be your builder and your architect? Or have we tried other things, other builders, other architects, and they've failed us? They've ripped us off. They've left the job half done, haphazardly, unfinished. I want to assure you today, if you make God your architect, if you make God your builder, it will last forever. When God does a work, it's perfect. It's complete. And He's the only one that can declare it is finished. You've got to trust Him. I'm talking about the healthiest country to live in. Let's go on now to the ancient words of verse 16. Here it goes. Verse 16. But the truth is that they are a better and a more country. I'm talking about the healthiest country to live in. Here it is. They were aspiring and yearning for a better and more desirable country that is a heavenly one. A heavenly one. For that reason, God is not ashamed to be called their God, even to be surnamed their God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for He has prepared a city for them. He has it prepared. He has prepared a city for you. So what is the healthiest country to live in? I want to suggest to you today that the healthiest country to live in is our heavenly country, our heavenly home, a heavenly city that is for each one of us here and the entire world. Is there room enough? Yes, you better believe it. Because our God, the eternal God, the creator God of heaven and earth, the respecter of no persons, transcends all religions, all churches, loves everyone, and He has made ample provisions for everyone who believes in Him. So what country are you looking for? What city are you looking for? Are you tired of the same old living? Just let God be your architect and builder. Give Him a chance. Give Him a try. He will not fail you. When He's finished with you, you will stand in amazement and in awe. You will marvel and you will declare how great Thou art. There's another text Do you desire a heavenly country? You've got to desire it. You see, we have been warped in our desires, distorted in our beliefs, to believe that this world is all that we have. And so we live our lives as if this is all that there is. But we've got to be reminded today that there is a heavenly country, a heavenly home, and it requires preparation. You know, when you all get ready to go on your vacation or to go and visit your family, you all get excited. You've got pep in your step and you can't wait. You're packing your bags and you're counting down the days. You're marking off the calendar. Well, I want to recommend to you that that's what we need to start doing right now. We got to start getting excited about our heavenly home and our country, because this world will not last forever. But there is a world coming that will last forever. And we are invited to be citizens of that heavenly country. I'm closing very shortly. You know, in my passport, I forgot to bring it. But I think I'm keeping it safe because I don't want to lose it. In your passport, many of you here have the UK passport, which is one of the most prized possessions in the world. To be a British citizen of the United Kingdom. You know how many people died to get that. But anyways, I have my passport from Canada. It's a Commonwealth country, nevertheless. They treat us good over here. In the inside page, there's a very important notation, a very important declaration. And that is, it says this on behalf of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, that you permit the bearer of this passport to pass freely without let and hindrance, and to provide any assistance as may be needed if any contingency should arise. Now that's very important. That's a very significant piece of document. You need to be very, very honored to have that. And you should be very proud and be thankful and grateful that you have that. Because there's some countries in the world, they wish they had it. And that's a passport here to a country that we live in. And it's a privilege, you know, so you don't get turned away. Or when you get to a country, oh, sorry, we cannot admit you into a country. Or you will be experiencing immediate deportation. With that type of citizenship, you can travel anywhere in this world. But I want to tell you of another citizenship, and that is offered freely to everyone who believes that that's a heavenly citizenship, to a heavenly home, and everyone is afforded that passport. If you believe and if you receive it, and if you desire to have it, it can be yours. But you've got to desire to have it. You've got to let go of certain things in this life, in this world, that is holding you back, that's keeping you down, that's tying you down, that's weighing you down. Because if you're kept down, you cannot go up. Gotta let go. Let God have full way and sway in your life, ladies and gentlemen. Ancient words, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9 says this. But on the contrary, as the scripture says, what eye has not seen and ear has not heard and has not entered into the heart of man, generic term, all people, all that God has prepared, made, and keeps ready for those who love him, who hold him in affectionate reverence, promptly obeying him, and gratefully recognizing the benefits he has bestowed. Do I have a witness of the Woodring here today this evening? Do you love my God? Do you hold affectionate reverence? Do you desire to obey him? Are you grateful and thankful in recognizing all the benefits and blessings he has bestowed upon our lives? Sometimes we get so hardened in our lives and we feel that we have arrived. Sometimes God has to shake us up and rock the boat, and I pray that he doesn't have to do it, but he just sent me to just send you a reminder this evening. For the next 2 weeks that we're together, he wants to give you a life that you've always wanted. More than this life, a life that is out of this world, because you can outlive your life if you accept the life that he has provided for you. That's the way you can outlive this life. Okay, I'm really about to close now. Here's my punchline for you. I was inspired a few years ago to write this line. I'm sharing with you. It's a freebie. If God is not, if God is not a reality in your life, He will not be a priority in your life. If God is not a reality in your life, He will not be a priority in your life. How many things crowd out God in our lives? The things that are most important to us. And then, when tragedy strikes, when something happens, we want to turn to God last minute. We want to run to God has been there all along, waiting with arms open wide. How much longer can He keep those arms open wide? He will keep them as long as He can until we come back into His embrace of love. Until you realize how much He loves you. He cares for you. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what you've done. God loves no limits. He has no limits. His love knows no limits. His blessings has no boundaries. His arms are open wide to receive you. Wherever you are, whoever you are, I pray today that you will make God a living reality in your life. When God becomes a reality, then all other ground is sinking sand. All other things become secondary because God now is a priority in your life. I got one more piece of information. I'm so excited. I got to share this with you. Are you ready? I'm not talking about religion here, okay? Some of you have never been to the Adventist church. That's okay. I'm not here to promote Adventism and religion to you. I'm here to talk to you about the God of the universe, who transcends all religion. Religion is a human-made institution, but God is outside of the box of religion. He cannot be contained by religion. I want someone to understand that today. There was a group of scientists from NASA. I'm going to leave that for the next sermon coming up. But there was a group of scientists, researchers, PhDs. Somehow they had sent up a Hubble telescope into the outer galaxy. And somehow their Hubble telescope had captured an image that was so fascinating, that was so alarming, that they couldn't believe it. Let me share. Can I share with you this evening? Before we close, can you give me a few more moments? We're closing now. I know you had a long day. You're ready to go home and take a nap or you're hungry, but just give me a moment as we close this evening's message. Here it is. Gotta get closer. Here it is. Can you see that for a moment? Wow. It says, the new hand of God image shows a nebula 17,000 light years away, powered by a spinning star called PSR B1509-58, or for short, B1509. It's still long. Here it is. One of the big mysteries of this object called a pulsar wind nebula is whether the pulsar's particles are interacting with the material in a specific way to make it appear as a hand, or if the material is in a fact shaped like a hand. We don't know if the hand shape is an optical illusion, says Hung Goon An of McGill University, Montreal, Canada. He doesn't know if it's an optical illusion. Guess what? The NASA scientists dubbed it, entitled it, Hand of God. I'm wondering. Some of them are atheists. Some of them are agnostics. Some of them are brilliant academicians and scholars. They have never known God before. Some may, some have not. But collectively, they decided to name it the Hand of God because they can't find any other name. But can I just get a little bit excited here this evening? This professor, this brilliant academic researcher calls it an optical illusion, but I'm not calling it an optical delusion. Neither am I calling it a delusion, neither a hallucination. This is not an illusion, but this is a living reality. This is none other than a demonstration, an application of the hand of God. Now look at it here. Look at that here. Let me give you another picture right here. How is that? An optical illusion? No. That is a sign of the eternal creator. What they think is an optical illusion is a living illusion, a realistic illusion. God is giving signs all over the world. Here, by extension, in his vast galaxy that he has created, because he signs his signature of ownership on this world and in this universe. And he just needs to tap somebody. He needs to every now and then tell some of those folks that I am God. I'm in control. I'm still the creator. And what you think is an optical illusion is a living reality of my presence and power that still remains and presides and pervades in this world. Can I get a witness out there? God is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you tell me this is by freak accident and probability, and for them, the NASA scientists, to entitle it the hand of God. I believe God is opening his hand of love to show the world that he wants to invite them into his fellowship, into his communion, into his hands of love, because there were another pair of hands that were open for you and I and for the entire world. They were open wide and they were pierced for you and I. God sent his only begotten Son. And those hands are open wide to receive us. In the center of that hand is a galaxy. Some call it Orion. I'm not here to speculate, because God can't be speculated for and by. But all I know that God is a living reality. And today, he wants to be a living reality in your life. If that's your heart's desire. If you want to put God back in the rightful place again. Perhaps your life has been living in a way that God has taken the back seat. That somehow you've denied God, or you don't really know him. But there, across the skies, there, across the timber of Calvary, his hands outstretched open wide to receive you, to accept you, just as you are. Will you give God a try? If you want God to be a living reality in your life, I invite you to stand with me to your feet this evening. Because the healthiest country to live is in a world that is soon to come. A world that we cannot ever imagine. As the Bible says, eye hath not seen nor ear heard. There it is. And there's a place for each and every one of you. All heads are bowed and eyes are closed today. Creator of heaven and earth, our loving God, eternal God, the one who calls us by name, the one who invites us to come to place our lives in the palm of his hands, because it is in your hands, it is the safest place to be. It is in your hands that we feel your embrace of love. It is in those nail-pierced hands that we are saved and sanctified, and that we are given the assurance that we can have life and have it more abundantly. Thank you for those loving hands. I pray today for those who are standing, oh God, that you would surround them, that you would hold them and enfold them in your arms of love anew and afresh today. Somebody, oh Lord, here has been running away. Somebody here has been struggling. Somebody needs to know you personally again. I pray today that something that was shared today will touch them, oh Lord, will draw them by your cords of love, and that you will never let them go, and they will never let go of you, because you promised never to let go. May we now, as we've stood and are standing, place our lives in your unchanging hands, because it is the safest place to be, because you created us on purpose, not by accident. And you have a plan, an eternal purpose for each one of us. May we fulfill that plan. We love you, Lord. Thank you for loving us, even as if there was only one of us. We praise your name and we thank you for being a great and almighty and a saving God. And we ask it in the name that is above every name, in heaven and in earth and beneath the earth, that every child of God declare, amen. We've been standing for our theme song.